Are we living in a simulation? The idea that we might be living in a simulation, like in the Matrix, is one of those mind-bending philosophical and scientific questions that's hard to answer definitively. The argument was popularized by philosopher Nick Bostrom, who laid it out like this. 1. Advanced civilizations could run simulations of their ancestors, like us, if they had enough computing power. 2. If even a small fraction of civilizations do this, there would be many more simulated realities than real ones. 3. So, statistically, it's more likely that we are in a simulation than not, if such simulations are possible and common. That's a big if, though. There are many unknowns. Can any civilization actually get powerful enough to simulate entire conscious beings? Would they even want to? Are there physical or ethical barriers that would prevent it? Some scientists and philosophers take the simulation idea seriously, while others think it's more of a thought experiment, philosophically interesting but not testable or useful in a scientific sense. The core of the simulation argument. As mentioned earlier, philosopher Nick Bostrom laid it out formally in 2003. He basically says that at least one of the following must be true. 1. Civilizations never reach a technological level where they can run detailed ancestor simulations, because they go extinct, destroy themselves, or hit physical limits. 2. Advanced civilizations aren't interested in running such simulations. 3. We're almost certainly living in a simulation. So, if we don't believe the first two, we kind of get funneled into the third. Technological plausibility. Let's say a future civilization has near-limitless computing power, quantum computers, Dyson spheres, stuff we can't even imagine. They could simulate not just weather and molecules, but consciousness itself, if consciousness can be reduced to information processing. We already simulate simple things, like particles, planetary systems, and even primitive life forms. It's not a wild leap to think that, given enough time and power, simulations could become indistinguishable from reality to those inside. Some weird clues that spark speculation. These are more speculative and not really proof, but they fuel the idea. Quantum mechanics, reality seems fuzzy and only locks in when observed. That's strangely similar to how video games render only what's on screen. Mathematical foundations, the universe seems to follow math so precisely that some argue it is math, like code. Constants that seem arbitrary, why is the speed of light what it is? Or gravity? Could these be tunable simulation parameters? The big counterarguments. There are also solid reasons to be skeptical. No evidence, there's zero concrete proof we're in a simulation. Unfalsifiable, if you can't test it or escape it, is it even a scientific question? Ethics of simulating suffering. Would a super-advanced civilization really run simulations with so much pain and chaos? Let's get philosophical, then. The simulation hypothesis opens up a lot of questions that mess with our ideas about meaning, reality, identity, and even morality. Here are some of the big ones. 1. What is reality? If we live in a simulation, does that mean our world isn't real? Well, define real. If you can think, feel, love, suffer, build things, and experience awe, does it really matter if it's made of atoms or code? From the inside, simulated reality is just as real to us as base reality would be. That's kind of aligned with Descartes, I think, therefore I am. Maybe that's all that counts. 2. Free will or programmed choice. Are we making our own choices, or just following a script coded by whoever built the simulation? If a simulator can tweak the rules of physics, time, or even thoughts, then do we really have agency? But some argue that even in a simulated world, emergent behavior, like love or creativity, can still be free in its own way. 3. Moral questions. If we're in a simulation, are the beings running it responsible for our suffering? Like, are they gods? Sadists? Scientists? This touches theology. Are they testing us? Are we entertainment, like The Truman Show? Are they indifferent, like how we play Sims and don't care much if one starves. It also raises questions about our own ethics. If we ever make simulated conscious beings, would we have a moral duty to protect them? 4. Purpose and meaning. If we're simulated, does that make life meaningless, or more meaningful? Some might feel disillusioned, it's all fake. Others might feel more special, someone chose to create this. Maybe we're a project, a story, an art piece. It's kind of like how people wrestle with belief in God or fate. For some, it's a comfort. For others, it's an existential crisis. 5. Plato's cave. This whole idea is ancient at its core. Plato's allegory of the cave is about people living chained in a cave, seeing only shadows on a wall, and thinking that's reality. The simulation idea is just a modern digital spin on that concept. Would you want to know if we were in a simulation? Or would you rather not mess with that mystery?